For a Delta Force operator, no mission is too difficult.
The Delta Force operator is probably the highest trained, most professional soldier in the world.
His training and expertise make him an elite warrior unlike any other.
I was fortunate in my career to walk amongst giants, to walk amongst people that I do think are some of the greatest warriors in history.
The men of the Delta Force are built to take out any enemy.
They go after America's most sought-after targets, the snakes in the grass, terrorist networks, drug networks or narco-terrorist networks, war criminals.
You can think of them as the Tier 1 unit of Special Forces operators in the US military. It's really the best of the best, the most elite in terms of precision, marksmanship, skill.
Delta Force is under Joint Special Operations Command. This is the president's go-to command, the Army's premier counterterrorism unit. If there's an emergency, he's going to pick up the phone and call Delta Force.
Its structure is always built on teams, typically teams of 4 men. Some may have different skills.
A team is a part of a larger troop, which is part of a squadron. As far as we know, there are 7 squadrons in Delta Force at the moment. They work on the Delta Force compound at Fort Liberty, formerly known as Fort Bragg. Delta Force has a number of different names and acronyms. The classified name is 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta. Delta Force members will refer to it oftentimes in public simply as the unit.
The journey to becoming a Delta Force operative will require extreme sacrifice. He must endure years of training, become expert with all the modern weapons of war, and use precision tactics and violence to take out the enemy.
Delta is given exceedingly difficult target sets. Quite frankly, they are mission impossible. But no matter how difficult the mission is, if the president tells them to go, they will.
There's a situation where maybe Americans are taken hostage, where a plane is hijacked. There are terrorists in control. In order to stop them, it's going to take a precise action by a small group of individuals, going quietly where time is of the essence.
Speed is a key factor with every mission. But when the target is the most wanted man in the world, the strike must be carried out quickly and with precision.
So for Operation Red Dawn, I'm in charge of a troop that's in Baghdad.
The Pentagon issues playing cards, and so you have a deck of 52, and each card has a different high-value target.
We've been hunting Saddam. He's the top, he's the ace of spades.
The Saddam Hussein operation is the result of months and months of intel work by Delta.
That was a high priority target, the highest in the country at the time.
Deploying with high-level intelligence, Delta Force teams hunt for Saddam Hussein's safe house.
They're getting reports that Saddam Hussein is here. He's at X, he's at Y.
We were bouncing all over the country.
We've been hunting Saddam the entire time. We've been hunting his handlers, we're hunting his family, we're hunting anything attached to him.
You know, they'd pass some information to us and we would launch on a target.
A lot of those leads eventually turned up being dead ends.
The ace of spades can't be found, but every Delta operation churns up more intelligence, and the pursuit picks up speed.
Within the Delta operator, you don't just have someone who's carrying a rifle and who's just going after a target. You actually have someone who does intelligence analysis.
Delta is uniquely suited for going after somebody like Saddam Hussein because of these specific manhunting capabilities that they've developed.
US Special Forces have been engaged in a secretive campaign to capture or kill Saddam Hussein and his 2
We're
sons.
going to go out and conduct high frequency of operations. We're going to hit a lot of low-level targets and generate intelligence that's going to lead us to bigger targets.
We had been chasing Saddam for nearly a year.
We had a lead on a guy, we called him the Golden Ticket. He was supposedly the one individual that knew where Saddam was.
That night, I get an intel hit that there's one of his handlers in town, and here's the location we think. My mind's going, I've heard this before. You know, it's gonna be a no, but let's go.
Tom had noticed as we had rolled up to target a couple individuals walking down the street, and just kind of on a hunch thought, you know, maybe we should go check that out.
We started taking fire pretty far away from an open field. I'm talking to the troop, I'm thinking, why? I think they just were trying to draw us away. So that's when I sent the team. I said, walk down the house. There's like 3 houses down. You know, look for the guy that went in there. Take that house down.
One team went to the door upstairs on the left. My team went to the door upstairs on the right. I was the team breacher. I slung my weapon to the side, pulled out an explosive charge. This guy comes to the door, so quickly I pulled my pistol out and stuck it up in his face. And I said, open the door. He just looked at me and nodded.
They saw a mattress on the floor. And they flipped it up, and there he was laying underneath there with a toy AK-47, plastic.
It's him. It's the golden ticket. We brought him back to our interrogation cell at Baghdad, and he has given up the goods. He knows exactly where Saddam is, he knows who's around him, and he's gonna show us.
Delta Force teams home in on their target. They infiltrate the hometown of the fallen dictator.
They identified 2 targets, a house in a village and a farmhouse outside of that village.
A year's worth of intelligence gathering leads to this final mission.
That evening, we went to the house in town, went up to the exterior gate, placed a charge on the exterior gate, blew the exterior gate open.
We blow the door open, we go inside. We find Saddam's cook. I'm on the radio going, he knows where Saddam's at.
Meanwhile, another team is raiding the farmhouse outside the village.
They're very persistent. They don't just go to that one location. They go to the adjoining locations.
At first, there's no sign of Saddam.
The troop that hit the farmhouse, they were looking around, you know, was there a hidden room someplace? We knew he was hiding out there somewhere, we just didn't know where. Sergeant Major's kind of looking around, and he sees this rug laying in the dirt, which didn't make a lot of sense.
They lift up the cover. And they find Saddam Hussein there.
The call that came over the radio was, we have a possible for BL number 1, which to all of us meant we got him.
That's the result of good intel work, persistence, and being able also to deal with sources, talking to people on the ground, and it was a successful operation.
I see him handcuffed and looking, you know, with a leaf in his beard. Said he looks like dirty Uncle Fester, and that's when he spits at me.
Witnessing him walk out, for me, was a pretty profound moment. You just removed an evil dictator from being the head of a country.
Fighting terror in the 21st century means operating on a rapidly evolving battlefield. It poses a challenge for even the greatest warriors.